Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about today is two types of emergency evacuation plans and why you would need both and implement both, maybe, okay? I can remember twice in my life when my family and I had to evacuate, okay? The first time when we had black mold in our house. My son was 13, 14 years old, something like that, and our home was just overcome with black mold because we had a water the pipe in my son's bathroom had broke, and we had we had Surf Pro come in and stuff like that, and they put these huge machines in the house and stuff, and they said that, with the black mold, it only takes 24 hours, for it to become toxic and blah, 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 blah. And we had to leave the house. And this was before we started hardcore prepping. Okay. And I was not aware of bug out bags and this and that. And all I knew was we couldn't stay in our house. Right. And I had just a few minutes to gather everything together and we had to leave. Okay. Now, the second time was an evacuation that didn't actually happen, okay? But we were ready this time. And it was just a few years ago. It was during hurricane season. And as if the rains and the winds were not enough, it was, I can't remember which hurricane was it. Oh, Lord. Because we get hit every year. But it was the one, which one was it? Where we had lost electricity for like 2 weeks. But this time we were ready. We were ready. And we knew what to do this time. We did. We knew what to do. But we were like, we're not leaving this time. Because we were prepared. We were prepared. Because knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, and we knew what we had to do. Although we were prepared, we did not evacuate, And it's funny. We did not evacuate. Even though we had no electricity for 2 weeks, we did not evacuate. We were fine. Evacuations happen for many reasons, right? And there are really only two types: urgent and planned. And you need emergency evacuation plans ready for both kinds, right? So before you begin packing that emergency kit, you need to first consider why you might need to evacuate. If you have specific scenarios in mind, and then one of them suddenly becomes a reality, there's a good chance that your brain won't lapse into a normalcy bias, causing you to waste precious minutes or even hours, right? An urgent evacuation is one in which you have zero time to think, you only react, right? The smell of smoke, the realization that your home is on fire is not time to inform the kids how to get out of the house, run around scooping up family heirlooms and cash vital documents, and then yell at everyone to meet you at the front yard. Fire spreads, boom, done, right? If you've considered this scenario, you've planned it, you have a routine that you have rehearsed, your brain will most likely revert to those memories. Your actions will become automatic. Now, what other urgent evacuations might you need to plan for? Tornado, natural gas leak, wildfire, chemical spill? All right. Well, all of these events will require you to get out of the house as quickly as you can, like avalanche, earthquake, explosion nearby, landslide, flood. nuclear event, riot, terrorist attack, tornado, tsunami. Now, you can't plan on the fly for an urgent evacuation. It won't work. You must prepare in advance. Now, an urgent evacuation is life or death. And in the case of a house fire example, right, that I talked about, planning in advance for an urgent evacuation is simple. Take time to stash valuables in a fireproof safe. Okay, a lot of us already have one of these. Train your children and other family members to get out of the house ASAP and have a pre-planned meeting place. All right. Now make sure each room has an exit point that can be accessed by everyone. Even if that means keeping a step stool or a sturdy chair in the room. Like my son's room, he has one of those window that the bottom ledge is a good like 4.5 feet from the floor. And in his case, all he needs to do is step and get out. Okay. So here are some tips that can help you plan to prepare for urgent evacuation. Have a pack supply bag for your pets. Okay, do you have a cat, dog, even a bird, whatever, okay? Complete with food, bedding, food, water, bowls. If your pet requires transportation in like a crate, place all of the supplies in that crate. Everything will be one place. Need it, get it, go, right? Okay. Create a last minute bag. Things like your prescriptions, cash, small valuables. Store emergency kits in easy to access locations like by the back door. They can also be stored in the trunk of your car along with a case of water. Be in the habit of having your car ready with at least a half tank of gas and emergency supplies. Have some sort of signal for the family so they know it's get serious time, right? Especially with the kids in particular. Have a way of tuning out their parents. You know what I'm talking about, okay? So an establishment code that sends the message, urgent, this is not a drill, move, right? Practice this evacuation drill and keep track of how much time it takes to get everyone out of the house. Emphasize that getting people out is far more important than any belonging or even your pet. I know you're like, I can't believe she just said that, but it's the truth. All right. Have written lists of what must be grabbed, prioritized so that no one is searching for something that is not strictly necessary. Okay. Select a primary and one or two alternate evacuation routes. Now, in urgent evacuations, the longer you wait, the more likely you are to endanger yourself and your loved ones. And if you must leave the area, it also increases the chance that you will run into major traffic issues as panicked people also try to get away from harm. So now, what is a planned evacuation? Not every emergency is one that requires great haste. The planned evacuation is one of prepare and wait and see. It requires a different mindset, one that emphasizes checking and double checking and keep a constant eye on developing news. In many cases, you have several hours or even days in which to make your plans and put the final pieces in place. Now, what are the events that could trigger planned evacuations? All right. Earthquake, epidemic, pandemic, rising flood waters, a storm of the century like blizzard, or otherwise you may want to get out to avoid the worst, right? A volcanic eruption, wildfires, all right? A hurricane is a scary natural disaster that can bring with an enormous amount of damage. But thanks to modern meteorology, we can track these storms. We know with a fair amount of degree of accuracy when and where they will make landfalls, okay? Now, along with tips of urgent evacuations, there are a few more tips that can help you plan for a more leisurely, if you will, escape. Make a date on your calendar to review and refresh all of your emergency kits every 6 months. Have at least 2 different ways to get information in case of a power outage, or if your telephone or your cell phone lines are not working. A shortwave radio, ham radio are both really good choices. All right. If you have a smartphone, install phone apps that provide alerts for inclement weather, tornadoes, earthquakes, hurricanes. If you have larger animals, contact at least 2 different locations that provide temporary shelter as part of your emergency evacuation plans. All right. Give careful consideration to how your home can be best protected while you are gone. You have time to board up your windows, your drain pipes, etc. Now, get phone numbers from neighbors so you can keep in touch and update each other with the news. This will be especially important if you do evacuate and you want to know how your home and your neighborhood are faring. Okay. Now, during the school year, contact your child's teacher and ask for a list of their assignments for the coming week or 2. And make sure your car is filled with gas and is ready to go. Pack it with any supplies or gear that won't be needed, but just in case you decide to leave, it won't hurt to know how people live in their cars in case you must do so far a season. Right on. So the good news about both of these types of emergency evacuation plans is that preparation for one is preparation for both. Okay. The major difference between the two, other than the actual event, is your mindset. You must be the one to make the call to get out now or wait and see how things unfold. Ultimately, it'll be your call. It's better to err on the side of a quick evacuation if there's a chance that the event could escalate. By then, you might be trapped and unable to get out. And please do not rely on others to rescue you, okay? Please don't. Take charge of you and your family's survival and write down your evacuation plans. Get out your prepper notebooks. Write down everything. Write out your plans, please, okay? It is best to get your prepper notebooks, have everything, put that in your emergency kit. Okay, your prepper notebooks. Okay, it is so important to have. This is why I started my prepper notebooks with you guys 3 years ago. Okay, unfortunately, my other channel was deleted, but it is so important to have your prepper notebooks in with your emergency kits. This is all of everything you've ever written down, all of your thoughts, all of your ideas. Okay. It'll help you out in the long run. I promise you. All right, guys. All right, I'm out of here. I will see you in the next one. You stay safe. You stay positive. You keep prepping. And as always, fearless. Ciao.